Hello and welcome to this Thursday's live Kriegspiel game. We are doing the 3 days of Glorious Revolution, the French Revolution in July of 1830. So right now we're looking at a map of Paris from the early 1800s. And we have the Royalists versus the Revolutionaries. And we're going to go down and listen to the revolutionary deployment plans.
So where you want me to be?
We wanted you to start where they are organizing themselves, where the student radicals are getting organized, so you can guide them towards the center and then expand out from there.
All right.
Are you playing in Rotowski rules, James, or?
No, it's like D6-ish.
Okay.
It's not really a battle per se. We're playing a revolt.
I was just wondering, if there's action points. That was mainly what I was asking.
Oh,
Gotcha.
no. Not like that, no. I mean, each turn's also going to be about an hour of time. So, we're going to do basically one of the glorious days. So, it's going to start at about 6, and we're just going to go through the day. That's going to be
Okay.
Sense.
All right.
Is that everyone's deployment?
Hello.
Hey, Master Swens, it's good to see you.
Hey, good to see you too. So, how are? Looks like you're still just the two of you.
Yep.
Yeah, we figured it out. Darmon, I mean, there's not a big impact without Maman because he does not have any command. Darmon agreed to lead Marjan's troops if he doesn't come.
So perfect. So in the sort of confusion of the revolution, Marmont is being very indecisive, and it's fallen to his two colonels to take charge of the defense of the city. Marmont's been listening too much to that sort of radical talk these days. So it's you two, holding the line for order and the forces of Charles X, who may from time to time sort of send updates asking why you haven't cleared the city. Just as a heads up.
Okay.
Well, he can come down here and help us clear it. It's really that important to him.
Not really his vibe. Yeah, so basically we're gonna be doing this is the we're trying to recreate the second of the glorious days, starting at about 6. Each turn's gonna be about an hour. And we're going to go either till there's kind of a decisive point in the day, or the day runs out, and then we move on to the third glorious day, which is not going to be featured in this.
Okay.
Glory. We'll see what kind of glory there is. Doesn't seem like a very glorious business.
So we're playing until midnight, is what you're saying?
About 2.5 hours.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know what time zone you're in, so I wasn't sure what midnight was. All right.
All right, Darmo, if you're good, I guess I'll go take my position.
Yep, that sounds good.
Good luck. What should I say to you as a Frenchman?
Pour le roi, pour la France, and pour la gloire.
Pour la gloire, pour la France. Vive la France.
Right. I'll start with the revolutionaries if you wanna see if these gentlemen have any.
Sure, that sounds good. Are you French?
I'm Quebecois.
Oh, okay. Close enough. Alright, Baron de Dalmarmont. Oh, shoot, it froze on me. Alright, sorry, give me 1 second. I'm having TTS technical difficulty. Every now and then I can't move. Okay. So you are headquartered at the Hotel de Ville. You have, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I think brigades, maybe regiments of regular line infantry. You do have some gendarmes, and you have a small force of police in your general vicinity. I guess if you're commanding Manglin's forces, he also has 2 regiments of gendarme and some police and some veteran line infantry. Oh, he has 3 units of police guarding the bridges. There's been revolutionary activity all through the city throughout the day, not or throughout yesterday. Not very organized, but you know that there's rioting in the streets and mass protests to the north and east of you. Do you have any orders?
Just a quick question before. Am I gonna be able to see Mangin his point of view, or just am I staying at
Yeah, since
Astamamo?
his troops as well, I'll expand your screenshot to include his. Yep.
Okay, cool. I'll just see it before giving any orders.
Okay, let me give it to you then real fast. Let's see. There you go. It's coming.
Thank you.
Any orders, or you just holding position right now?
I will, as Mangin, I'm going to send one of the gendarme position to the north beside the Seine, the northern side of that river. Send that contingent of gendarme to the other bridge that is south of the island. That bridge that's farther there.
Okay.
And then I will move that veteran line infantry to take position on where the gendarme was originally.
Okay. Got it. Thank you.
And that's it.
All right. Are you a general? I don't know which rank you are. Komronsky.
I'm so sorry, James. I could barely.
Is
Can
that
you say
better?
that again?
Nothing. I was just wondering what your rank was. All right. You are at the Palais
Oh no.
du Louvre. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, I'm the honorary Polak. That's all that's important, I guess.
So you are defending, actually, technically, 3 important locations: the Palais de Tuileries, the Royal Palace, and the Palais de Louvre, all located in the same area of the city. There's been lots of rioting and revolting and unlawful gatherings yesterday, which have continued into this morning. Um, the whole city is abuzz. You've got the Swiss Guard. You got 2 units of Swiss Guard elite troops guarding the west to the Palais de Tuileries. You've got the Royal Guard guarding the Royal Palace. That makes sense. And you've got veteran line infantry and more Royal Guard guarding the Palais de Louvre.
The veterans are with at the Louvre.
The veteran line, yep, is right with you at the Louvre right now.
Okie doke. Well, I would like to send out some patrols, if I may. Are you taking orders, or just you ready to take orders?
Ready.
All right. All right. So let's send out some patrols. We'll send out let's send out 3 battalions. Their mission is basically to go and find some trouble and try to scare the enemy a little bit, shake them up. If they bump into any trouble, then they're gonna order those bad guys to lay down their pitchforks and go home. And if they need to defend themselves, then they may do so. But their main mission is just to go out, basically find trouble and report back and delay any enemy activity.
Which direction
So,
do you want to go?
what's that?
What direction do you want to go?
Let's send one of the Swiss guards towards the west. So I don't want anybody to go too far because I don't want them to get lost and surrounded. So they could just go a few blocks. One Swiss guard can go west. We'll send one of the royal guards from the Palais. What is that one? The one in the north. Palais Royal. He can go north, and then we'll send the veteran infantry. Why not? Why don't we send the veteran? No, we'll send one of the royal guards south across the bridge. And so they will. Again, they're just mainly to find, report, and delay the enemy, and not to get into a main fight, and they can fall back into a reserve position as they see fit.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. The time is currently listed as 18:30. I'm assuming is that accurate?
That's the year. The year is 1830. Pardon.
Oh,
The
okay, my bad.
The time's 6 a.m. It's about 6 a.m. roughly.
Okay. All right. And they're basically nonviolent protests in front of the palace gardens, and then I got the society behind with a bunch of regular Parisians, and then the society is demonstrating behind. Correct.
Yeah, the society's been processing down this avenue. They're holding signs, they're cheering, but most of the society people have arms or know, where they're close at hand. The regular crowd, you don't know. They're kind of out there. They seem agitated, but they haven't started any violence yet.
Okay. And then the palace gardens in front of are basically does that connect to the actual Palais de Tuileries?
Yeah, the Tuileries Palace is
Tuileries?
it doesn't connect. I mean, there's a gate around the gardens. The gardens are walled. It's not like you can just get from one to the other. You would kind of have to go through the garden to get to the palace. Yes.
Okay. I would like to. I'm assuming, or do you want to wait for that?
I'm ready for your orders. Yeah, go for it.
Okay. I would like to lead the society protests into the garden in front of them, and then kind of like intermix them with the blue Parisians, if possible.
Okay, thanks.
Which way is north on this map?
North is just up.
Okay. Make sure to keep your screenshots north with north up.
At least that's how I'm doing it. I don't know which direction in Paris is actually which, but
I think that's right.
oh yeah, that's right. Yeah.
So Lafayette's just marching in. I guess he's got more experienced troops. The people gathering to him.
So he's gonna have these guys kind of come up and mix them in here. So the Swiss Guard are advancing.
They are sending out patrols. So a small patrol with orders to kind of scout and delay. So they probably
Gotcha.
returned back after they saw the giant mass of people. Same for that.
So the Royalists basically holding sort of in their positions.
Yeah, they didn't. Alright, all movement done.
Yeah.
Oh, it froze on me. Super annoying.
7 a.m.
So annoying. Oh, will you promote me again? Alright, I'm gonna go get next turn orders.
Yeah.
Alright, Dom Raymond.
Alright.
You're starting to hear news of civilians gathering closer and closer to your defensive lines. And particularly, there's lots of news and activity to your east.
Okay.
Let's see. Well, east and south. Mongin reports to you that there's a large force moving through the streets to the south of his island. No shots fired yet.
Okay. Is that all?
That's it.
Okay. Are those blues up north, are those civilians too, or what? Those blue dots? Yeah.
Yeah, just
And
disorganized civilian mobs.
and the red ones, are they just, what's the difference with the blues and red?
I believe red is militia.
Okay.
Slightly
Okay.
more organized. Or
Okay.
maybe more armed too.
Right. Mm, okay, I'm gonna get my gendarmes out of there quickly to that bridge to its just east and to fall back on our side of the island and to hold that bridge.
Okay.
Everyone else for on Mangin's front can hold their position. On Damermont's front, I will send some scouts east, find out what's going on, and hold my position. And then I'm gonna write a dispatch really quick.
Alright, General Komarowski. Oh, it just froze on me. So annoying. Okay. You send out your patrols, and it does not take long for them to come back with word of major activity in almost every direction that you sent them, and in particular to the west. There's a large force that have jumped over the walls and then pushed through the gates and are now moving through the garden of the Tuileries towards the palace, waving flags and banging drums and firing guns into the air.
All right. Well, I would like to meet these troublemakers. I'm not afraid of them. I would like any battalion that's facing a rabble to go out and send them home, and they will defend themselves if necessary.
Alright, so you're going out to talk to them?
Yeah, we'll try. I mean, yeah, we'll send one battalion towards each of the gathering rebels and see if they're willing, see how scared they are of our shiny uniforms, and if they decide to attack, then we will defend the palace. So send one battalion. Each battalion that's facing a rabble will send one battalion out, and the rest will stand at their posts. And if they will, if they come under attack, then they will return under the cover of friendly forces if they get attacked.
Got it. Alright, thank you. Hello, Mungin. Mungin, I don't know how you pronounce it.
So am I too late? I'm really terribly sorry.
No, I already have Dolmermont was covering you, so he's giving you orders already for you this turn, but starting next turn you'll.
Perfect. Thanks for listening. I'm very sorry. I literally just I usually set an alarm and managed to wake up and I'm a little exhausted. My apologies.
No worries. Alright.
Thank you.
I'll be back for orders in a little bit. It'll be for 80800.
They are the like representation of law enforcement.
Yeah, those are police. That's a line of basically police with batons and pistols.
All right, thank you. So let's see. I will move the eastern part of the crown. They are to move east. I receive the eastern part of the crown to the east, and yeah, that's it. I don't really have anything else.
Great, thanks. You emerge out into that plaza that I foreshadowed earlier with the elephant in it.
Yep.
As you lead the National Guard down into the city of Paris itself, you find a group of fairly organized Parisians have been cheerfully ripping up paving tiles and tossing and smashing up furniture and carts to make barricades, as is you're beginning to suspect the new national pastime.
Hmm.
The uh, you the city seems fairly quiet. You can hear, the kind of bustle of carts and some traffic still, and distant shouting, but thankfully yet no gunfire or anything.
All right. Yeah, I can't control them directly. So, all right. I will ask any of those gathered to join me in heading to the Hotel de Ville, sort of as, I guess, the vanguard for the National Guard. And if they run into any royal troops, uh, inform them that reinforcements for the nation are on their way, as we will soon be taking over and returning control to the rightful place.
All right, the people give a cheer as you say that, so you're fairly optimistic that they know you, and the stain of some of your prior slightly stranger decisions, like aiding the Americans, has worn off. They seem pretty happy with you. So
I mean, that's where I got my start. So I cut my teeth in America so I could, be an expert in France.
but there's disgusting colonials. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah. I guess also, like, if anyone wants to, spread word around so that, more places can be organized and more, people can join this new pastime of ours, they can choose to do so. But I know I won't be able to, force anyone to do that. So.
Yeah. Yes, I mean, certainly you can tell that the word is definitely spreading through the city. Things are escalating, more than they're cooling down, that's for sure.
Excellent. So long as their voice is being heard, it is good for us.
Oh, it's still frozen. That's so annoying.
It's really weird.
So I can tell the PC is like WASD. Nothing. Of course now it's not. Do we have any fighting anywhere? Will you promote me again so I can add objects and stuff?
Oh, yeah. Sorry. There you go.
Is Lafayette attacking?
No good. We got a Mangan.
Yeah, Mangan's here.
Magnin.
Man, this is super frustrating. I can like barely move and then it freezes me again. I'm trying to add smoke and it won't let me.
Hey, the Swiss Guard, what are they doing out there? Are they just sitting around?
He's going to send a battalion to like scare them off.
Gotcha.
So if they aggressively attack, they'd probably fire on them.
Yeah, no, they're not. They're not attacking, so I guess that's just going to be kind of a standoff there. At about 250 yards.
I'm gonna restart Steam
Well,
to see if that fixes anything.
What would you say?
I'm restarting Steam with the div top to see if it fixes the issue.
All right.
This might be insurmountable. Alright, 800. I wonder if it's something to do with the Steam. Can we try something?
Yeah.
I'm saving this state. I'm gonna try posting myself. Let me make sure it saves first.
Yes.
And see if that
That
works.
works.
Just gotta make sure it saves. Why is it not looking like it's saved? I can't even get it to save. I should be able to save it. I wonder. Well, no.
All right. Should I?
I'm about to give up. I can't get it to save. So even if I host it, I couldn't.
Can I? Here, let me make a. I can just do.
Make a module save state.
Yeah. All right. I updated the prior module, the one that I put in the Umpire channel. That one's now up to date with the game state.
So I'm going to host something called Glorious. Create multiplayer Glorious. Okay. Alright, I'm hosting now. It's called Glorious. Password 35. See if this works better. So far, so good. Be able to join. Yeah, I think it was something about your computer or your internet connection was like slowing me down.
Oh, okay. Well, that's sucks. But it's working now.
It's working now. That's much better.
Awesome.
Can Dom remote Komorowski? They got troops blocking the way, right? Or civilians, I mean.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, did you get Komorowski for me? That was nice of you. Alright, I'm gonna go get orders now.
All right.
Alright, Prefect Manjin, or I don't know how to pronounce your last name. Okay, there are civilians, armed civilian militia to the south of your island, threatening the bridges. Not quite crossing yet. I take that back. The gendarme to the east report that there may be some crossing far to the north or southeast corner. You're getting
Excellent.
harassed on
I
a
understand
daily.
the blue just civilian protesters and the red civilian militia, or are they all just the same?
Red is militia, correct, and just kind of regular civilians are the blue dots.
Okay, understood. Thank you. So my orders are to have the veterans of the line, sorry, the general rooms who are, I don't know how to pronounce that, that are the southeast that are covering that bridge are going to are going to move back because I don't think it's plausible to hold the entire island at this point. To try and fill the road that runs northeast next to them. Which, actually, sorry, no, I'm going to do that. And then other than that, I'm going to bring one of the units of policemen down to support them in that if that crossing in the southeast has happened as expected. Thank you very much.
Alright, Baron de Dalremont, reports
Yes, sir.
from your eastern lines say there's a heavy concentration of civilians there, protesting and rioting. So far, it's not come to blows or shots yet, but they say they've witnessed or they heard rumors that Lafayette is amongst them.
Okay.
Your dispatch courier sent northwest to Komorowski returned saying the streets were too unsafe to deliver his message and that he would need a full-sized regiment with him just to deliver the message.
Okay. All right. For orders, I will send 1 battalion of regular infantry that is just south of the Hôtel de Ville on that bridge. Send them south, and I will send a dispatch stating that they are now under Mangin's command to help his defense of the island. For my orders for my eastern battalions, they should just hold the line and don't pour fuel on the fire, I guess. I'll write the dispatch now, but that's it.
Alright, Komorowski. Your Swiss Guard have exited through the front entrance of the Palais de Tuileries and have taken a position in the center of the garden around a fountain. So far, the rebel horde seems to be keeping to the other end of the gardens and has not advanced, so your Swiss Guard seems to have sufficiently scared them off. Meanwhile, it looks like the citizens are busily erecting barricades in the streets to the east of you, with whatever they can find, furniture, wagons, everything else.
All right. It doesn't sound like we've had a lot of success in dispersing the mobs.
No. Force.
What's that?
Might take a little more force.
All right. Well, I would like to ask the Royal Guards Battalion on the east side of the, oh geez, these French names, the Palais Royal. I'd like them to go east and beat up some rebels and see if that will convince them to go home. And I would like to shrink the perimeter, the defensive perimeter, so the battalions that are facing the mobs at the extremes to the far north and to the far east need to pull back. And I want to create a reserve of 2 battalions in the center of this complex to respond to any attempts by the other approaching mobs that might try to get into the complex. I would like to personally go and speak to Mr. Audrey, if that's possible. Is that his name? Mr. Audrey seems to be in charge of some of these rebels.
Yep, you want to speak with him?
I'd like to go and see him if I may do that. So I'll go with those Swiss guards that are heading that way.
Vive le front! Vive la révolution!
Pierre-François Audrey General Marmont has come out from the Palais des Tuileries.
Sorry, I can't hear you. 1 second, let me turn you up.
Oh, sorry about that. General Marmont has
Uh,
come out with a white flag and wishes to speak with you.
Alright. Yeah, I'll speak to them.
Where'd he go? Alright, we'll leave you together.
General, you wish to speak with me?
Yes. Good day. It's nice to see you. Good morning, and I'd like to just advise you that I'm very concerned about all the mobs that seem to be gathering around the palaces, and my role here is to ensure the safety and security of the uh, this complex, and I'd like to see what's going on here and see if there's anything that we can discuss here. If we can avoid any unnecessary conflict, I hate to see any unfortunate lives lost, and I thought it would be best to try to speak with you and see if there's anything that we can address here to prevent any escalation of problems.
Monsieur General, you are well aware of the problems facing French people. Unemployment in the city of Paris is at an all-time high, as Charles X has rolled back years of progress as a counter-reactionary. We are simply expressing our displeasure with this. If Charles X is now also not only censoring the newspapers and rolling back the 1814 charter and crushing, and now he's going to disperse peaceful protests, well, Monsieur General, then maybe he should not be the king.
I see. I understand your position, and let me sympathize with you. I am a Polish man here, trying to support the French, and I'm just merely a soldier here trying to carry out my duty. I have to observe that I don't feel that the protests have been peaceful, as you suggested. I understand there's a lot of gunfire going on, which is not really a sign of a peaceful protest. So I must ask that you secede with any further violent activity if you wish to conduct your protests.
Was there gunfire? None of my guys were put fire, at least not as far as the Empire has told me.
That's what I heard, is that there's been reports of gunfire.
Also, none of our protesters have opened fire. Your guards fell back from the walls, and we simply seized the opportunity to show off our displeasure in his own garden. Look at all these opulence, these flowers that are growing. I say you want to protect your men, do your duty. Then allow us to continue to protest in your garden.
I see. And again, please allow me to assure you that I can relate to your displeasure. I can identify with you as
Are you done getting updates?
Oh goodness,
Did you get all
they're just talking away.
Did you see he pinged us? He was wondering what he can do roleplay wise. I wasn't sure what to answer in his channel, Dombrowski.
No, yeah, I mean, this isn't scenario is not really built in a way where, I mean, if he quits the French, what's left? Like, they don't. No, I don't think he can. I don't think Beaumont has to stay with the Royalists. Yeah, there's no other way.
Where are we doing combat? Or where is there combat?
I is the Swiss Guards not attacking the?
I guess they're talking here, so I guess there's no fighting. But this is definitely fighting here.
Yeah, yeah. and this is all gonna blow up here. This Lafayette is not gonna. And for the soldiers here panic and shoot at Lafayette, and the civilians there.
So if the civilians take one disruption, they're out.
Yeah. Just because these big civilian mobs are they're everywhere for kind of effect, but like they disperse. I would disperse them basically immediately if they.
If I rolled a 3 against the guard, does the guard take like one little disruption?
Yeah.
I'll just write it on there. Normally I'd take a nap on these days, so I'm less sleepy. Did not get one. Oh, these guys stay in sight.
Wait, no, you use the new pieces, right? With the. I only have the old numbering system.
This one.
Yeah, awesome. Thanks.
Have you seen Les Miserables?
All right, that's. Oh, and then I think this national these royal guards I think disrupted a little. Yeah.
Hello.
Hey,
Just didn't know we finished up our resolution. I didn't know if you could use any help.
as an umpire?
Yeah.
Sure, always. Let me give you privileges. If you want to go, Swinces are the ones that are taking longer, so go with him for this update, and then take on like 1 or 2 of his.
Okay. Let me get
He's
loaded
working
in
here for
here.
the SWAT at the moment.
He's got the revolutionaries. Okay, what's the server name?
Oh, sorry. I'm like, you're in the server. It's called Glorious.
Perfect.
Alright,
Uh,
I'm gonna go get my updates. Alright, General Majin, you've been sent some line infantry from Domremont to the north to help bolster your lines to the east, which is which is helpful. You can hear sounds of fighting somewhere off to the east as well, to the north. Musket fire, maybe the occasional cannon. Nothing near you, though. Although the rebels seem to be massing south of you, they haven't attacked yet. If they intend to.
As in south, to the southwest.
Yeah, southwest.
Okay. I'm going to hold everything in order to be able to respond when the enemy attack. Other than I'm going to have the line infantry move southeast to try and disperse that enemy militia, and with the intent, hopefully, of being able to dispel them from the island.
Got it.
Thank you.
And the Domremont,
Yes, sir.
line infantry moves south to support Mangin. And to the east, you hear sounds of heavy fighting and musket fire. You get reports from your men down that way that Lafayette and his National Guard are attacking, but so far they've been repulsed. All attacks have been repulsed.
Okay. Orders. I'm going to send my reserve light infantry battalion beside the Hotel de Ville. I'm sending them on that road with that 54th Street as a reserve in case of any breakthroughs. You see that?
Yep.
Okay. And I'm going to get the gendarmes, that is the gendarme to the east, to face never mind, I'm just gonna get the gendarme to the east to support the light infantry in their fire, but to hold their position anyways. And I'm gonna send a dispatch.
Thank you. General Komorowski, I guess you had your discussion with Audrey. I don't know what became of that discussion.
Not a whole lot. I was assured that the protests were going to be remaining peaceful, and so I'm still hoping that that's the case.
All right. Well,
You don't seem convinced.
the peacefulness has ended. Your royal guard sent east has indeed dispersed the civilians to the east of the royal palace, but shots were fired with some casualties. So your men, your captain reports that he was successful in dispersing the crowds with a few dead, and his men, the civilians did shoot back before fleeing. A couple of his men were wounded, but otherwise he's doing fine. So you're right now outside. I guess you return after discussing. You return back into the palace. Your Swiss guard's still out in the garden, though.
Very well. Is there any report of activity? I can't see to the palace, the Palace Royal to the north anymore. Is there any reports of activity there? No. All right. I just want to inform them that they should hold their forward position lightly, that position will not be retained if we come under heavy pressure, and they are to pull back towards the whatever it is, the Place de Carcel, as necessary if they become overwhelmed by protests and mobs. I would also like to order the Royal Guard that has been dispersing the mobs to turn around and join the Swiss Guards in reserve in blocking the large protest force from entering the palace area. And just a reminder that the veteran line and Royal Guard that are stationed in reserve should respond if necessary to block any advances from the south by the mobs that are approaching. Thank you.
The second bridge that connect to Idubalites, they also eradicate a barricade. The student to the third bridge that is connect to the island, they also they're not student, they're barrison. Yeah, the barrison, they also eradicate a barricade on the main road. And I assume that the one whatever happened on the east, they in a very big trouble right now. So I want to go on the ground a little back toward the west. The ground on the east. I want to tell them to burn back to the east a little bit. You get on that? Is there somewhere that you don't understand me?
No, I'm good. Thanks.
All right, thank you.
I was gonna have so I figured he could take one of your three people since they're taking a while to give orders.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah. That will help a lot. Thanks.
Yeah, no problem. I should be able to hang around.
Who do you want to give him?
Do you want to grab? Let's have you grab Lafayette. Because you just with him.
Yep.
And I'm gonna speed up Audrey because Audrey's taking a while.
Okay.
All right.
So, Lafayette.
Attacking the Swiss Guard. And is yellow a militia?
Yeah.
Okay, so Lafayette has all the National Guard and the Parisians around him.
Yeah.
Okay.
The Parisians are largely dispersing. The National Guard are going to be attacking right now. As best they can. Pull Lafayette back a little. On these narrow streets.
Can someone promote me?
Oh, yeah. No, I can't. James can.
All right, awesome. Thank you.
So they're attacking the police. I would think militia.
Is it just the simple D6 rolls?
Yeah, the only change is that the blue protesters literally just, if anything bad happens, they just go away at all. the
Gotcha.
the red ones, the yellow ones, and the National Guard, or sorry, the red and the yellow act on militia rules, and the National Guard and everyone else are just normal soldiers.
Okay. Miss. Let's see.
All right, I'm moving on to screenshots. Unless there's anything.
Did you already roll combat up here for Lafayette, or?
Oh no, I did not roll for Lafayette.
Okay. Doing that right now then. Okay.
I'm just doing my guys.
Okay. And how long are the turns? An hour?
An hour.
Okay. So it's 11. Okay.
I go to get orders. Alright, General Mangin. To the west, your police have fallen under attack by the enemy militia and mob and have been forced to fall back up the bridge closer to the palace. As well to the east, the infantry have engaged the militia in that direction and are fighting to force them off the island.
Okay, so I'm going to have the police that are currently held in reserve directly to the east of where I am move up to support their comrades in the west with the intent of trying to prevent a significant crossing across the bridge. So there's no intent of holding the entire bridge, but to prevent anything arriving onto this side of the island. And then I will have the line infantry, because it appears that they maybe end up being surrounded. I'm going to have them slowly move to the west to form a line facing east where the gendarmes are. And I think that is it. Yeah, no, that's it. Thank you.
Thank you. Hold on, I forgot to do dispatches.
Nope. Okay.
Okay. Let's see. Okay, so heavy fighting in the east. So far, your men are holding the streets, but they are outnumbered and concerned. Your line infantry is moved in reserve on the 54th Street, and there's civilians in the streets kind of in all directions, but so far the ones to the north and west haven't turned violent. You can hear, in addition to the fighting on your own lines, you can hear more fighting to the south on the island.
Okay.
Orders.
Okay. Quick question. How relevant are the numbers on the, like I see that line infantry now has a 6. Does that go up to 10 and then they're just,
It goes
then they're,
up to 7 is when units break. So the higher the number, the worse it is.
yeah, okay,
And units 7's the normal,
yeah,
or the number where they kind of break en route.
okay. That's kind of what I wanted to know, thanks. In that case, I'm going to have the reserve line infantry rotate with the line infantry on the front and send that line infantry, if they're not broken by then, to the Hôtel de Ville to recuperate. So to reiterate, I'm just going to rotate with the fresh line infantry with the bad line infantry on that corner. I'm going to send my police battalion east, plug any gaps, and clear the rabble that managed to get through.
Okay.
And my gendarme. Yeah, okay, my gendarme will keep firing. And everyone else can hold.
Komorowski. The Swiss Guard, as they were falling back, came under heavy attack from the mob in the gardens and have been fighting desperately as the enemy has attempted to surround them. That's really the only fighting of the last hour. They're holding so far, but soon to be out of ammo and overwhelmed.
Very well. The Swiss guards that have been fighting will fall back into a reserve position in the center of our defense with the cover from the Swiss guard that are standing by in reserve. The Royal Guard to their nearby position will maintain or basically provide flank protection to those guards that are providing the cover to make sure that the mob doesn't interfere. And I would like the Royal Guard with the Louvre to fall back to the inner perimeter, to the second wall there, giving ground. And I would like for the veteran infantry to, oh geez, I'd like for them to make a powerful counterattack on the mob to the northwest to drive them away. And I will personally try to provide assistance to the Swiss guards that are falling back to help them make sure that it's done so in good order.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you. You guys are a lot faster now. So the Swiss Guard fell back. The veterans are attacking northwest, as you saw. These guys fell back. I guess you're rolling for combat.
Is Deramont staying put?
Yeah, he's just in the Hotel de Ville.
Okay. So
The Swiss Guard, I feel like would still be. I mean, they're only what? That's only 200 yards or so, probably. They could be taken.
So yeah, the big black lines are those are buildings, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So I don't know if they're like occupied.
Well, I thought I mean, could they be shooting out the window? I just thought maybe for more for visual effect if they were shooting out the windows
Yeah,
at the.
they could do that. They'd want to provide cover for the retreating guard. Heck, these guys probably be shooting at these guys too.
So Lafayette's orders were to have the Parisians try and find any gaps over here to get behind Deramont, but I don't see any way for them to do that.
Yeah, he doesn't have any gaps.
Oh.
Yeah.
There are gaps here and like kind of here now, but
I mean, would he be in command of those Parisians, or would that be under Kavanaugh?
those are under Cavagnac.
And Cavagnac basically wants to push the Palace of Justice right here. So.
So, the Louvre was abandoned. So would they like get inside?
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Take it.
If as a piece of historical trivia, if you want like a little flavor for the update, historically when the revolutionaries took the Louvre, they were like extremely like careful about the art. So that would be if you want like a funny little tidbit. They were like extremely like cautious around all of the priceless art and like nobody bring any guns in here, please. Even though it was just like a disorganized mob, someone was like, check the guns, check the guns. Just love those little anecdotes, those like moments of like order and chaos and
Sounds like a French thing to do. I guess Cavagnac would be the first to know that Louvre has fallen, right?
yeah.
we ready for cuts?
Yep.
Dispatch release.
11 o'clock. That technical difficulty slowed us down.
All right, I'm gonna go get orders.
It's kind of like insulaire. Alright, General Mungin. Um, your police are holding at the bridge to the west well enough. Your veterans in the south are covering a bridge as well that the militia are pressing. They've erected barricades to the south, giving them some protection. Your line infantry have successfully pulled back to ensure their flanks are secured. And yeah, that's about it.
This I assume that the police unit that was in the northeast wasn't mine because it's moved.
Correct.
Oh yeah, sorry, yeah. Oh, sorry, I've just seen you like that. Yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna have the force on the west remain as they are and keep preparing the enemy with whatever unfortunate violence is necessary. And I'm gonna have the line infantry withdraw slightly further in order to go one vertical road back, and I'm going to try and hold that off western half of the island. And I'm going to have the gendarmes move slightly. The gendarme in the south move slightly to the south in order to repel the enemy if they attempt to cross that bridge.
Okay.
Excellent. Thank you.
Thank you. Baron de Domplemont.
Yes, sir.
Your line infantry reinforcements were able to successfully replace those that had casualties from fighting in the morning. All along the line, still continued heavy fighting in the streets. Another unit of line infantry, the captain is concerned how much longer he can hold. And you're also starting to get pressed pretty hard in the north, some of the northern streets. That's about it.
Okay. Okay, I'm going to form a tighter I guess, formation throughout every rank. So my most western battalion is going to go to the Quai Pelletier. It says on that road. It's just beside the river. It's just under it. Move that. They're going to move there and exchange fire with militia if they see any. My battalion just north of the Hôtel de Ville, that was beside the one I just talked about. Those guys are going to fall. Actually, no, those guys are going to just position themselves as to not let any gaps or any roads open between the new formation on the west and with the formation I'm about to make on the east. So the rest of my 3 battalions north, the one that's taking casualties at the 5, those guys are going to fall back to the Hôtel de Ville. The other 2 that are north, they're going to fall back on the 54th Street that we talked about earlier. They're going to form a new defensive line there. For the light infantry on the east, first the one that's taking heavy casualties at 6, fall them back to the Hôtel de Ville again. Then the one that's fresh that just did a rotation, they're gonna have to fall back on 54th Street, but on the vertical street, is the avenue or whatever. They're going to hold there along with the gendarmes. They're going to fall back on the vertical of that 54th Street as well. And for the police, they're going to position themselves on. They're actually gonna have to run. Yeah, they're gonna have to go on the double to cover that bridge south of the Hôtel de Ville. Did you get all that?
I got it all.
Cool.
Alright, thank you. Alright, Komorowski. So you withdraw the Royal Guard from the Louvre, and soon after the mob overruns and takes it. But they seem to be very careful with the art in there to not damage it, which is very considerate of them. Meanwhile, the Swiss Guard successfully retreat within the walls of the Tuileries, with cover from the other Swiss Guard from the windows. Their fire is enough to keep back the mob at a good distance within the garden. Your veterans attack to the northwest and fairly easily disperse the mobs up in that direction. But everywhere. Oh, and your guard also to the south have fired on those units which were the citizens which were crossing the Pont Royal and pushed them back. So some good progress generally, although losing the Louvre does hurt.
Yeah.
Your orders?
Yes, I would like my fresh Swiss guards to launch a determined counterattack on the large mob to the west. I want Audrey to be taken into custody. So they will charge forth and they will seize the commander and they will bring him before me to answer for his treason and his treachery. Meanwhile, I would like to ask the Royal Guards in the north to fall back to the main key position of the Palace Royal, with the cover being received from the veteran line infantry if they come under attack. And I would like for the Royal Guard that are currently standing in reserve to also provide cover by making a strong counterattack to the northeast and driving off, dispersing the mobs by whatever means necessary that are approaching the royal palace.
Got it. Thank you.
Doing a pretty much trying to force as much weight as possible onto Deramont here.
Gotcha. Okay, I see what he wants.
Go ahead. What level do the National Guard start at?
The National Guard,
4? Okay. So they get reduced by 2.
What do you start the Royal Guard at? Are they 2 or 1?
the Royal Guard, I was starting at, yeah, we can make them elites. That's perfect.
So we got attack from the north and flank. Oof.
The main development that I thought was funny, and I think we should allow just for fun, was Audrey wanted to go raid the military school for guns, and I said sure, why not?
If a unit is broken, does it lower the effectiveness of the units next to it?
Yeah.
Okay,
That does.
so
If they lose
5,
it, do they
5.
gain disruption for each adjacent broken unit? You could turn more of the mob into yellow militia as they get more guns. You ready?
Yep. Gonna go grab orders. I might be AFK for a few minutes, but I'll put Lafayette's orders in the Umpire chat just in case I don't come back in time.
Okay. Thanks.
General Mangin, you've received a dispatch from Dom Raymond and can hear lots of heavy fighting in his direction. On your own island, you seem to be holding well, though the rebels have barricaded the streets to the east on the other side of the island and look like they mean to hold it. Meanwhile, your line infantry your lines have reformed in the streets as you've ordered and are holding the bridges. The rebels really aren't pushing too hard or at all, really. Your orders? You're muted, by the way.
Oh, sorry. Is there any way of dispersing the crowds, the blue crowds, but that are not militia?
Yeah, attack them.
Is that okay? That feels risky, but I'm going to hold where I am in terms of positions, but I'm going to have the veteran line fire on the enemy militia across the bridge. I'm going to have the police in the west do the same, and I'm going to have the gendarme fire lightly above the heads of the protesters, if possible, to their south and north, both units, to see if we can disperse them a little bit.
You got it. General Don Ramon, your lines have consolidated. The streets are filled with troops. There's hardly room for anything else. And the enemy has pushed in ever deeper. Some of your lines are starting to break. You've had one regiment break already to your southeast. The gendarmes have replaced them or are holding for now.
Okay.
But the National Guard under Lafayette are continue to press.
Okay.
Your orders?
Okay. Orders. It's time to send the fresh troops on the Western Front to the east and try to do their best to make their way and engage the National Guard. Relieve the line infantry that's currently in combat. And the police is going to manage the west, make sure there's no civilians that break through. For the am I able to well, I guess they're already considered like that. I was going to ask, like, are they considered in buildings when they're kind of like this, when it's so cramped in?
Yeah, there is some.
Yeah, I guess. Okay. So yeah, the two to the east relieve the infantry to the. The two to the west relieve the infantry to the east, and the one fresh infantry to the north has to relieve the infantry to the east, and the infantry that's a 4 on it has to plug that gap to not let any civilians through. And I'm gonna send a dispatch, but yeah, that's it.
Alright, General Komorowski, your Swiss Guard are sent out, but even as they advance, the enemy mob is already withdrawing from the gardens, so your guard advance unhindered. Meanwhile, closer to home, the Royal Guard and veterans continue to push outward to disperse the mob in that direction while your guard to the north falls back. But those mobs that were at the Louvre are now breaking out into the open squares and courtyards around the palace, the main carousel, and are threatening the flank of your interior. And that's about it.
Sounds fine. I would like for the depleted Swiss Guard battalion to the northwest to fall back to look after the palace with the other royal guardsmen that are beleaguered. I would like the fresh royal guard and the veteran line infantry to turn east and launch a determined counterattack to defeat the mob near the Louvre and retake the position. And I will lead those forces in that attack.
Got it. Thank you. I'm gonna go get a drink of water real fast. I'm super thirsty. I'll be back. Alright, I'm back.
Okay, I'm back.
Lafayette is fine, but his attempt to rally those people to help attack did not work.
Okay, and no, I take it no surrender from the loyalist troops.
You know, I didn't. No, it doesn't look like it.
Okay.
Unless James is good otherwise. I doubt it.
All right.
I think this is getting to the point where, I mean, it's only 1 o'clock, but if the guard doesn't kind of have the strength left after this, I think it's going to end up being a government. And probably because unless the guard can get through all that whole clump of men.
We're over here.
Was combat resolved for the National Guard units under Lafayette yet?
Nope,
Okay.
just the one over there.
Well, Lafayette's troops may still get something for all this.
Oh, wow, yeah.
This one bands.
So if 2 units routed, and these are at 5-ish, these would also route. Sorry, could you hear me okay?
I can. For some reason, you're really quiet.
I don't know why that is. I got the mic right next to my mouth. I was saying if these 2 units routed, it would cause the 5s to basically join the route. Kind of a mess.
This one, I think this one was at a 4. These were all at a 4 previously. Yep.
How many routed, though?
3, and I bumped this one up as well.
3 of them route. Wouldn't they bump up 3 each, or is that?
2 or 3. I don't know. Do we want to make it a mass route for Dombrowski or?
I don't know. That pretty much. I feel like that pretty much ends the game. Yeah, but I think.
I mean, I don't mind.
Yeah.
Really, let's have it mass route and just see how he responds, and then give it a turn or 2 more.
All right, that's good.
I'll have a couple units.
Put this one up here at Waver. We'll put these 2 at Wavering. Give them 2 units to control at least. Okay. All right, going to grab orders.
All right, General Mangin, your men make I don't know what you call it, probing attacks, kind of in all directions, and it actually doesn't take much for the rebels to abandon their barricades and fall back deeper into the city. So all around, except for really to the east, it's a bit quiet now as your forces are no longer being pestered.
Excellent.
You continue to hear heavy fighting to the northeast and to the northwest. Your comrades may not be doing so as well. That's about it.
Excellent. The veterans of the line, the police that are not occupied in the west, and the gendarmes that are not occupied in the south are going to join with the line infantry, and all 4 battalions forces will make a concerted push to the east, firing on the enemy, attempting if the protesters appear to just be protesting and to not be militia, just attempting to disperse them. If they're militia, utilizing maximum violence to push them back. And I'm going to use, really make this a concerted push. Thank you.
It is not good news. Despite your best efforts, your men are basically in a giant chain route. They've lost all confidence and have been overwhelmed. The casualties so much. There's chaos in the streets as they're falling back towards the west. And despite your protestation and that of your officers, you cannot seem to get control of them. Some of the police and a little bit of light infantry in the west and north still remain in cohesive command, but otherwise it's just absolute chaos as the National Guard is down on you.
Oh shit. Okay.
There's a bridge to the west that could get you to the island. Where
Yeah, I see that.
You could probably get to safety now.
Yeah, I was thinking of doing that. There's no point in staying here. Yeah. I'm just taking all my things and getting to the palace. Or yeah, the Palace of Justice with whatever remains of my men and myself. And hopefully I'll be able to co-locate with Manjin.
Alright, General Komorowski. Together with the Royal Guard and some veteran line infantry, you make a concerted attack to the east, pushing the civilian rabble all the way back to the walls of the Louvre, but they make a stand there in that good defensive position, and so far they're holding at the palace walls and doors. Meanwhile, the rebels are attacking again from the northwest, getting into the inner streets around the palace. And
There's too many of them.
there's a lot of them.
There's a lot of rebels. I care not. The veteran line infantry. Who do you think would have a better chance at successfully assaulting the Louvre? The veteran line infantry that are fresh or the Royal Guards that are a little bit depleted? I guess I'm asking from a perspective of troop quality and reliability.
I mean, they're both pretty darn good at this point.
Coming in?
They're both pretty good.
All right. Fair enough. The veteran line infantry are going to make a bayonet charge. They are to assault the Louvre and drive out the rebels and reclaim the Louvre. And they're to receive support from the Royal Guards to their right and to their rear. that will make supporting attacks and prevent the encroaching rebels from interfering with their assault. The Swiss Guard by the walls will also block the rebels that are coming along the river, and I will order the rest of the Swiss Guard to whatever the heck they're doing to start to make a orderly withdrawal to reinforce the palace area. And then I want the Royal Guard in the north to defend the Royal Palace proper by making a counterattack and holding that position at all costs.
And a lot of people are going to get out too. It looks like not as surrounded, as they were historically. But they're also pretty surrounded.
I mean, they're pretty much cut off. The loyalist forces are pretty much cut off on the island here.
Yeah. Although, I mean, it's not like there's a lot of organized resistance to their south, but that's probably not going to help them too much. Get to play who goes down with the regime now. I'll mention this in the final version, but the one big historical sort of I guess the one big difference is that they elected to kind of defend all of the spots when historically Marmont basically ended up only defending the Tuileries, and apart from one brief attempt to hold everything, basically just consolidated everything on the Tuileries, the Louvre, and just hold up in there, which wouldn't have made a particularly interesting game, but kind of allow him to last one more day.
In the end, he lost it all, right?
Yeah. The government was just completely swamped by people in this one, so.
What do you think? Are we good to call it here?
Yeah, I think so.
Let's bring everyone to the lobby then.
Hello. It's over. Oh boy.
Boy.
Good game, guys.
Sorry, Komorowski. It was just too good of an opportunity.
Sorry, what?
Alright, so let's, what we'll do here is, we'll hear from, umpires first, and then, everyone will come in and share their experience. So, before I get to the
I mean, CIC is a bit of a loose term. I think it's really more of a cooperation. Everyone sort of played their part, and I think they played their part well. At least from my advantage point, we are collapsing in on the loyalists, and I think we have 3 of our 4 objectives in hand. I believe by the end of the day we will be at the Louvre, sorry, and I think soon there will be a new monarch. Hopefully, one more agreeable to the revolution.
And then I get well. We never had
Optimistic.
so, let's see what's on the other side. I guess Komorowski, if there is one.
Marmont was our CIC, but he didn't show up.
Yeah, he's on the naughty list now. So who wants to take a stab on the royal team? How you think you're doing?
I guess I'll say a few words. So, Don Raymond and Montjean were making a defense in the east of the hotel, and then this other place near Notre Dame, which I cannot name. I don't know what the name of the place is. I was guarding the palaces, and very very early on in the combat. Of no particular concern, but of notability, I was pretty much unable to communicate with them as the battle went on. But so it's hard to say what their status is. But I'm pretty confident we're in a pretty good position. I was blessed with some of the finest troops available, and I think that they conducted themselves spectacularly, and it was a really fun ebb and flow. I think we were able to drive off the mobs pretty handily due to our superiority and professionalism. And we're still holding the objectives, the most important objectives, in my personal opinion. And my last orders involved a powerful counterattack to recover the Louvre, and I have pretty high confidence that that went well. So there's lots and lots of rebels with pitchforks, but I don't really think that they stand a chance based on the current situation, the way I see it. And I think folks did well.
Share my screen, but Swince, you want to give a general overview of the whole battle?
Sure. Pull up the. All right. So basically, we had the rebels starting here, roughly here, and here outside the city to the west, east, and south, which is basically allowed them to kind of converge down towards the city center in each of their respective directions. I'll note that the Audrey's Society of the Friends of the People and the associated civilian protesters who were with them went through the garden here, which is pretty open space, and what that meant was that although they had a lot of heart and they kept kind of launching these or doing their best to launch these attacks, the civilian militia were not having not even militia really, civilian protesters were just not having a very good time attacking straight at the Tuileries. So that never really went particularly well for them. However, I did want to note that Audrey made one pretty inspired decision and went to go loot the École Militaire for guns, which I thought was a fun little twist. Meanwhile, in the south, and if I'm a little bit more pro-revolutionary here, that's who I was taking orders for. It's not personal bias. I love all French people equally. So they started with a sort of mass protest down around here, and then this one under Cavaignac moved north. Cavaignac then kind of spread out and tried to take over these central islands. but was never quite really able to assist Lafayette, who came in from the east, and used the National Guard as a fairly blunt instrument to just kind of batter down this and take the Hotel de Ville, which worked very well. In the end, the line infantry there routed, and that in and of itself is just going to make it fairly hard for the regime to hang on. Although by the end there isn't really anything to the south, they might be able to link back up and get over the um, to the Tuileries Palace here. But historically, there was a sort of similar journey made by one of Marmont's columns, and this was a nightmare of barricades. And I can assume that if we were getting into this further, particularly if this wasn't limited by the constraints of a live game, this would be riddled with barricades down here in the south. So in the end, yeah, it's correct. The royalists hold the main objective being the Tuileries Palace. They hold that, but they've lost the Hotel de Ville, and without the sort of symbolic part of Paris that is the Hotel de Ville, Lafayette will be able to give that famous Republican blessing to the Duc d'Orléans and inaugurate the July monarchy. So, on that basis, I'm going to say that although I think the Royalist defense was well executed, and I think in light of their sort of limited resources and the infinite waves that were being thrown at them, I think they did a good job. And yeah, the people who actually umpired for or James, I guess, could probably say more about what the Royalist strategy was. But I thought overall, I had a lot of fun. Thank you to everyone who participated. And for trying something out that's a little bit more experimental. I hope you all had a blast.
It was great.
Thank you, Swift. I appreciate you
We sure did. Thank you.
throwing together this scenario. Um, yeah, it's interesting doing an urban combat. I know for the royalists, there wasn't a ton. Like once they were placed, there wasn't a ton of options for maneuvers, kind of shooting things here and there, but which can be difficult, maybe less fun. But I think they enjoyed it still. Let's hear from Umpire Slock. Showed up mid-game to help us out. So, Umpire Slock, want to share your experience?
Yeah, so I helped out with Lafayette there at the end. He had Dimatra boxed in pretty heavily down here, and he was very interesting that he kept trying to play to the emotions of the enemy, kept offering multiple chances for those troops to surrender. And I think the Loyalists were in a pretty good defensive position, just they got overwhelmed, and also some of those roles were quite in the favor of the National Guard there. There was a couple attempts for Lafayette to rally the Parisians to break the flank, and I believe he almost got unlucky from a volley of musketry, but he managed to escape and continue the assault. So yeah, definitely an interesting scenario, and would like to see some more of this.
All right, let's hear from all the players. So I'm just going to go down the list, top to bottom. So the Baron de Dalmarmont, let's hear from you.
Right. So I was holding the Hotel de Ville against Lafayette. I had all that line infantry that's now routed. Initially, my plan was to just hold kind of this box. I didn't really have much room to maneuver, but I was using reserves to kind of rotate my front lines with reserves and whatnot. But eventually, I got a dispatch from Mangin that he couldn't hold the eastern half of the island, and that kind of scared me, so I decided to consolidate. And that kind of chain reaction into a mass rout. And I had some fresh troops in the western side of my formation, and I tried to, rotate them in and plug the gaps. But the streets were packed, people were panicking, and there was a mass rout. So I only ended up getting one line infantry out and one police out to the Ile du Palais, and that's pretty much what happened on my end.
All right, that's a stalwart defense. All right, right, General Lafayette.
I will first commend the Royalists. You did a lot better than what historically occurred, which was filled with a lot of ineptitude, I think. We, as the revolutionaries, I think, did fairly well, honestly. Um, like, we tried to take what we could in the face of staunch resistance. Um, I I think we could have performed a bit better, honestly, but that's just me quibbling. Honest, I think this was really fun, honestly. To be totally honest, this was really fun, and I would like to see more of these uh, non-war, or at least Kriegspiel's not fully based around war, and more like around like social movements or important moments. I think this was really fun.
Agreed.
Komorowski.
Yeah, I had an awful lot of fun. I would say one like drawback of this situation was like the fun and excitement and interest of cooperating with teammates was not really like part of this experience for me because we all kind of got surrounded in our own little, cloisters of combat, I guess you could say. But I still was able to make my own fun. I had a great time harassing Audrey and trying to conduct some psychological warfare on him and sending him lots of angry letters, especially after he promised to be peaceful with his protests and then ruthlessly attacked my Swiss guards. Of course, it's fun to have troops that are so professional that I could basically just say, point at these guys and be like, shoot them. And then they just kind of flee and disperse in every possible direction, having that sort of power at my disposal. But it was still very challenging and interesting to figure out the right moments and places to commit those troops in the face of such a quantitative opposition. So I think, the Rebels did a fantastic job. They were able to get the Louvre because they were able to really just overwhelm um, my limited resources. I'm a little disappointed we didn't take it back. I ordered some counterattacks at the end, and I was pretty confident that we would get it back. But it didn't seem to play out quite that way. But I'm pretty satisfied with the results. And yeah, I think it would have maybe been interesting if the plan involved some strategies where we better maintain some lines of communication and cooperation across all of our units, rather than just saying like, "Hey, just hold your spot and do what you can," which kind of devolved, I think, a little bit uh, into situations that were a little bit more like every man for himself than I think it necessarily needed to be, and would have maybe provided for some more interesting opportunities if there were more options for cooperation and collaboration that were existing. I still had tons of fun. I thought that was a really unique experience. I didn't quite get to role play it out to the fullest extent, so I kind of did a little bit of research while I was getting ready for the battle, and I was just thinking about my situation, like, okay, who's this guy, Marshal Marmont? I'm a Polish guy. I'm over here at the palace defending these Polish people, these French people that are not necessarily looking out for my Polish, brethren. And I had some pretty crazy ideas. I said, maybe I can make a deal with these rebels. Maybe I could switch sides, and maybe we could make some kind of a deal that might be favorable for the Polish. Unfortunately, I didn't get quite to play that out to the extent that I had in mind, but I still had a lot of fun. So thanks a lot.
Yeah, if we had allowed you to do that, it would have been game over instantly. So we.
That maybe I guess I didn't assume that if I was allowed to do something crazy that all these troops, all these Royal Guard Frenchmen were going to follow suit. So I thought maybe that I might be allowed to do something different with maybe some smaller force that might come to my stay by my side and follow orders. So if it was done that way, then I think it could have still been very much competitive. But yeah, I mean, if the assumption was that everything under my command was going to just follow my orders, then sure, no, it would have been no contest. But I thought of it that way.
Sorry. I'll just say that there was only one other royalist French player. If you switched sides, I think that was the bigger concern. There wouldn't have been much of a team. Poor Demamon would be on his own. Although I guess in the end you got isolated, but
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, it's. I guess then that makes me wonder if like everyone showed up, if there would have been more opportunities for interesting stuff. Yeah.
All right, thank you. Pierre Francois Audrey.
Sorry, I forgot I was muted for a second. Very very fun very fun Kriegspiel game. I think mainly, I was trying to take the Palais de Toulier, with what amounts to just a protest mob. Was always going to be very difficult. I also misinterpreted the Empire. I thought I heard him say something about fence slats or like around the garden, and assumed that it was kind of I could only go in one way and go out one way, and I didn't want to give ground, so I didn't ever conduct any flanking movement because I thought there's stuff in the way. I think at the end there I just picked up a. Can't hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah.
Oh no, I mean
hear you.
James. I can't really hear what James say. No, not you.
Yeah, you
Someone
have
else.
to turn them up. So we just grabbed a bunch of muskets from the armory. And I was attempting a assault and shooting back, which I believe would have went well. Looking at the Swiss Guard, I believe we had enough quantity to at least push those guys back to Palais de Toulier. And then, I feel bad for Komaratsky a little bit, but I realized at the end of after I was done talking to him, what a golden opportunity would have been to just decapitate the enemy and not have to deal with pushing through Royal Guard and Swiss Guard with civilians. And I thought it worth a dice roll, and also I thought it'd be kind of funny. So, and then after that, I also cried foul and said that Komaratsky was killing us all for no reason, and attempted to gaslight all of the Parisians and everybody, not me and him, basically. I don't know if that had any effect, but I had a lot of fun in role-playing that.
Yeah, I had a great time with that banter that you and I had, and coming out and having a chat and see if we could talk it out. This is something that doesn't happen in a regular Kriegspiel, so that was pretty cool.
Yeah. I also sent a courier to you asking you to surrender. I don't think he would have surrendered, but he was told to also announce to the troops that we'd keep them alive if they just dispersed and left. I don't know if that would have had any effect either, but I think it would also be pretty cool. I appreciate y'all.
I received that message, and I sent you I don't think you received my friendly response, but I did have some words for you.
I think you got it.
Which one?
You got a couple dispatches from him.
Yeah, I sent a dispatch at 1400. I don't think that got to you because that was at the last turn. I know I got one from you saying
we weren't giving up. No, there's no way.
Oh, I didn't think so. I was hoping I was hoping that somebody would disperse, or at least I was trying to do the General Lafayette tactics of attack the morale, but I will let. That was pretty much all.
Well played.
Prefect Mangin.
Firstly, apologies. I arrived I think 2 turns late, so slightly late. But my objective was to hold on to the Ile de Palais and the Path of Justice on it. I think I realized in retrospect that of our objectives, it was probably the least crucial in terms of the strategic importance of the Louvre, for example. But the challenge that I found was that with the protesters in blue who were peaceful, you couldn't leave them to cross the bridges because then that would open the opportunity for the militia to get across. So when there were kind of 11 bridges onto the island, I realised there was no prospect of me plausibly stopping a crossing of any of them, and therefore towards the end, you can kind of see, tried to push the enemy out east. I think I fired above the heads or potentially at some peaceful protesters, which maybe wasn't the best move. But it kind of dispersed them, which freed up the forces to do it. So I think maybe I would have held on to this objective for a bit, but then would have had to withdraw because of the other objectives that have been lost. So it was a challenge not being able to communicate with Kamarowski. But me and Dameron managed to communicate a bit, and he sent me a battalion, and I realised I probably should have been sending reinforcements to him because I didn't realise how dire his position was until the end. But yeah, thank you very much to the umpires and to everyone who played. It was a really, really fun game.
Last but not least, Carbonyak. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. You're muted.
Oh, sorry, I cannot really hear you because you're really white. So yeah, thank you for the inviting. This is really fun game. I had a blast. Yeah, my initial plan was that I'm trying to create as much confusion as possible from the south and trying to back multiple threats from many different angles so that I can storm the device as fast as I can. And oh well, opportunity present itself weak. So as you can see on the screen right now, I had managed to gather that much of a ground because I really just zero in into that island. And well, that's what I do. I think that I have not been very success with creating that many confusion on the enemy, but I think I did a very good job of keeping a press on the island itself, so that the National Guard can do their job and rout the monarchist. So yeah, I had a blast, and it's certainly very fun to command something that isn't a conventional army. So yeah, that's it. Once again, this one is really fun. I'm really enjoying it.
Thank you. Well, once again, I'm really grateful for Swints preparing everything. It gave me a nice little break this week. So thanks everyone for playing. You're welcome to hang out and keep chatting. But I'm going to stop sharing, and we'll see you in next week's game. Thanks everyone.
Thanks.
Hit it.
Yep, good game.
Thank you.
Good
Catch
game,
y'all
guys.
later.